the NBA Finals. You wanted to talk, so I was like, all right, we're gonna get this going real quick. So the NBA Finals, obviously, the NBA Finals MVP was none other than Jaylen Brown. I believe you called
Miss
that or not. I can't remember.
Mr. Unmarketable.
Man, he was hot from damn near everywhere on it. I mean, he didn't really have a bad game. Well, I guess yeah, he was 3 for 24 from the deep three. I guess you could say that his mid game was on point. He was shooting the corner three pretty good. The couple of times he did shoot, I mean, out of the 10 times he shot, it was 50%, from the corner three. So when you look at that with Jaylen Brown, that's pretty good, 50%. You can't argue with that. His mid game is crazy though. He goes crazy in the mid range and in the paint. And for him to be 6'7" and that mid range shot, I think that's a way of a new era of playing ball, man. Like not new era, it's always been there. But look, consider the way they play nowadays. I should say now I gotta clear my words up when I'm talking out here in detail. Compared to the way they play basketball nowadays, shooting as much threes as they shoot, the way that Jaylen Brown plays is almost like new, showing them something different. Actually, smart when you're a 6'7" shooting guard that can also go play the three guard, right? And your mid game is good. His corner three was good, 50% from there. I mean, he shot really bad when he was shooting anywhere else from the 3-point line. I think he was like 3 for 24. Correct me when I'm wrong out there though. And in the paint, he was 26 for 44. So that's not bad. You know what I mean? Taking it to the rack. And then sometimes he got fouled at the 3-point free throw line, excuse me. And he did well there, man. So big ups to him, dog. He was out there balling. I like what he doing. And I just think that I thought that Jason Tatum was going to step up and be the MVP. I knew the Celtics was going to beat them. I did pick the Celtics to win that game. But I thought Jason Tatum was going to bring it and he didn't, and that shocked me, bro. So what you thinking, bro? What you on that, man? Like how you feel about the Jaylen Brown being the MVP over Jason Tatum whole situation? Like what you feeling on that?
I mean, we've seen these type of relationships or duos, should I say,
Yeah.
before, right? In which you got two alpha players and people are trying to figure out, okay, well, who's the best player? Because it was without question, most people said, okay, well, it's Jason Tatum. He wants to be like Kobe. He has the mama mentality. But now
Hmm.
you get to the biggest stage, and Jaylen Brown wins the Finals MVP award. And so now, to me, and maybe Boston Celtics fans, they may try to jump on me about this, but you're trying to figure out, are you going to be able to make this work long term? Because we've
Hmm.
watched duos, leave prematurely, right? In the light of more social media, how Shaq has talked about how he and Penny Hardaway, quite possibly could have won a title. We watched Shaq and Kobe break up. You know what I mean? So the only really, really talented duo that we have right now, and people will question Klay Thompson's like all around game, but like up until just recently, that was the most talented duo until we see right now because they finally are hoisting the final trophy. So
Right.
they got enough money to keep both of them there, but the mindset is going to be is the ego going to be able to get pushed to the side, which has been pushed to the side because what? This is Jason Tatum's seventh year. Like, didn't they come in the same time? So they've been
Yeah.
playing together
For
long enough, but
yeah.
it's kind of getting to like that KD, maybe Russell Westbrook thing. Like, okay, we've been here quite
You
a
got
bit of time,
to
so now somebody we got to figure out who is actually the guy. But they got Jaylen Brown locked in. He signed a big deal. Jason Tatum, I think they're in negotiation for a contract. So, I mean, they should be together at least another 2 or 3 years. But hopefully, they can push the egos to the side
yeah,
and bring some
get that
good
done.
basket. Keep some good basketball going on in Boston because for us growing up, watching the Boston Celtics was just like, okay, it's Paul Pierce and a band of other guys to see what they can do. But now the Celtics are actually they're the best team in basketball, So they won the
Yeah,
title. But I'll say this in
and they did
closing,
it without Chris Hat, without Porzingis
they
too.
did it. I mean, they and I was listening to some of the names that they had on the team. I'm like, bro, I did not know they was this deep. Like
Like,
that's a deep team, and that's always the problem too. Not just your superstars, but your role players. Like, are they going to want to stick around, or are they going to want some additional money to go somewhere else? So, but I'm gonna say this in closing. And I told my buddies this. I said, the unfortunate thing about this is that the way that the media is set up,
mm-hmm.
they're gonna talk about this for a little while, and then they're gonna get back to the bread and butter topics in terms of the NBA, which is LeBron James. And it is unfortunate because the NBA champions, that should be all that we talk about. We shouldn't. I mean, okay, Lakers hired JJ Redick. All right, cool. Put that over there on the B side. Let's continue to heap praise on the Celtics, but it's gonna go. It's gonna come. And I tell my buddy that they're gonna get right back to
They
LeBron
got a
James. That's
good
one of the
one.
yeah. That's one of the that's one of the things I actually hate about the big media is that a team wins the championship. You talk about it for a little while, and now you're going back to talking about the Lakers. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like the Celtics are they got the most championships of any NBA franchise. Like they should be talked about the until the season starts back next year.
But
But
the Mavericks,
we know that's
the
not gonna
Mavericks
happen.
got a decent squad too, though. Shit, I don't mean to cut you off, bro, but don't they? You don't think they had a decent roster?
Yeah, they got decent. I mean, they won the West, so I mean,
Right.
yeah, they got a decent roster. But
I know.
it's just like anything else. You know what I'm saying? It's about matchups. You know what I mean? And they
Yeah.
just had two. They had the Celtics just had too much for the.
Where
And
was
they,
Markeith at? Like Markeith hurt, right? He was hurt, right? Wasn't he out? Markeith Morris, he ain't play, right?
I'm
PJ
not sure.
Washington. Where was PJ at? What was PJ doing? Like, why wasn't PJ on it? Like he should have been. Like,
What was
uh,
Kyrie? Let's just start.
huh?
What was Kyrie? Let's start at the head of the snake.
Oh yeah, where was Kyrie at? Yeah, he was totally missing. I honestly thought that Kyrie was going to do something crazy in the playoffs when he busted out with those shoes. Like, and I had what I'm saying, I had an old head hit me up, and was putting me down like the heritage of the shoe, what the shoe was supposed to be meaning to Kyrie, right? No, for real though, like for real.
No, I'm not. I'm not
I'm being
laughing
serious.
at the. I'm not
And
laughing at the shoe. I'm laughing at the fact that it didn't. It must didn't mean playing good
it didn't.
basketball.
It must didn't mean that much, and that's something like it must didn't mean that much to Kyrie because he just disappeared when it all came down to it. But I mean, when you're superstar in the team, Luka Doncic want to smoke cigarettes and drink beer in the NBA and think that's gonna fly, like man, you got a whole nother thing coming, bruh. You can't be out there smoking cigarettes in the middle of the game, motherfucker, in halftime and in the tunnel smoking cigarettes, drinking
what they
beer
what they
belly. Like,
say
come
what,
on, bruh.
what they
Like,
say
come
back
on.
in the day. He's smoking a heater.
Yeah, like you can't be doing that nowadays. These people is they're way in shape, sculpted like gods out there. Like
But
if
but Luca's game, he can do that.
yeah, he can,
His
but bro,
game is not based on explosiveness. It's
but
just
if another team
fundamental
turn up on
basketball.
them, like they gonna always lose. It's a fact. Like Luca gonna get
Yeah,
his
yeah.
points. Luca gonna do what he got to do, right? He gonna get his points. But once they turn up on Luca, and they get to being physical with him, because no matter what you say, being physical with somebody, you're exerting energy that way, running up and down the court, that you exerting energy that way, trying to play defense. Like he can't do all of that and score because he's not in shape. If Luka Doncic get in a little bit of shape, in my opinion, just a little get a little bit in shape, just do some cardio, Luka, I think he'd be all right. I think his game would his game he be probably dropping Wilt Chamberlain numbers. I don't know. If he can drop 70, 80 right now, like it's nothing, you know, he probably, I don't know. I'm just saying, I know I'm going way off the reservoir here by saying Wilt Chamberlain, but you know what I mean? Who knows what Luka could do if he
I
gets
tell,
in shape
I
and
tell you
close.
what, the best backcourt in NBA history, that conversation is no longer being had.
Mm. Right. Right. That's
Hey,
a fact.
you can talk about Luke. I'm gonna blame it on Kyrie.
You gonna blame it on
Kyrie,
Kyrie?
Kyrie, you were the first. You were the
Yeah, he the
first
old head. He the
player.
OG.
You were the first player that people were putting in this Kobe Bryant mold. Like
Yes.
you were the first one. Now it's convenient. Like, oh, you got Devin Booker, Jason Tatum. Oh, we looked up to Kobe and all that. But Kyrie, you were the first one.
Okay.
There, we still got the footage of you at the USA basketball team telling Kobe, let's get this one-on-one action.
Okay.
You
And what's
wanted it. You approached it like Kobe did to Jordan. And you out
Mhm.
here, you ain't stepping up. We gotta
Yeah.
ask the question, WWKD.
What would
What would
Kyrie do?
Kobe do?
What would Kobe do?
What would Kobe
But look,
do?
hey,
And it
bro,
wasn't
look.
what you did.
No, hell no. No, sir, it was not. Now they can't question Braun neither. Remember when Kyrie hit that shot? They can't question what Braun do neither because he can't get one without him. So that's another topic for another
Yeah,
day. But we'll
that
say
was
that for
another
another time.
storyline. But guess what they're gonna do with that storyline?
What's
Shoot
that?
that right up under the rug. They're gonna shoot it right up under the rug. Ain't nobody gonna talk about that no more. Cause everybody was gung, they were gung ho about it. Let's talk
Yeah.
about it. They were gung ho
Mm-hmm.
like, oh man, Kyrie gonna get the ring without Bron, so that shot gonna be validated.
Yeah.
I don't hear that no more.
It's not. He
And
got
I'm
it
and,
because
listen,
what so what does that say? So what's that say about Luka? Luka is no LeBron. Period.
what did I tell you the other day about Kyrie? I said he
Bruh,
was a good player. Remember
not a
that?
great one.
You remember that?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
I'm just saying.
Couple weeks ago.
He's a good player that can dribble the basketball really well.
Not a great one.
He's a good player.
All right. I get that. I defer to you.
He's a
On that.
good player who can dribble the ball really well.
Man, we moving on, man. We moving on. We moving